books.
Good morning, folks. Glad to see you back. I've got an auditor this morning that calls himself the Twisted Truth or the Twisted Lucky Truth or something like that. Anyway, he is going to come off in the beginning of this video as being different than the other auditors. He's not a frauditor. He's a journalist. And he's going to explain to us how he's not a frauditor and how he's so much different than they are, whoever they are. Anyway, you're going to find out it's all a bunch of nonsense. Check it out.
Today we're at the Lake Helen Police Department in Florida. This is a very small department in a tiny little town of less than 3,000 people. We're here because a former officer here was just hired by the DeLand Police Department. But concerns were brought to our attention due to his history of discipline within law enforcement. And that's a very interesting and maybe shady story that you won't want to miss. It'll be out soon. But we're here to try to learn more about him from the time he was here. But in our visit to Lake Helen, I encountered some things I didn't expect to encounter. Some crazy, kind of funny stuff that left me almost without words. One of my goals is always to try to educate, and I'd like to do so cordially. My goal is never to make anyone look bad, regardless of what some would lead you to believe. I have very positive intentions.
That's right. This guy doesn't want to make anybody look bad. He just wants to educate the elderly. Is in the instance of this video, he's going to go in and educate the elderly lady trying to help him at the desk there. Trying to get him his records request because he's just like every other frauditor. He's no different. Anyway, just check it out.
I suppose tyrants, though, wouldn't see it as positive. But let's get into what I encountered.
Hello. I'm just trying to get some records on Mark's, what is it, Sayes? S-A-I-S? Sayes. He was an officer here, correct?
He was.
Okay. I'm just trying to get, until recently?
Yeah, he left 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Well, he applied, he went to DeLand.
Yeah, that's what I heard. How long had he been here for?
Not long.
Not long.
But he'd been here before,
Oh,
years
okay.
and years ago.
Oh, okay.
And then he left, and then he came back.
Okay.
And then he left again.
Yeah. Was he at a different agency before here?
I think he was with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
Well, okay.
Just before here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to get basically his employment dates here.
Get what?
His dates of employment
I
here.
don't have any of that.
No, I mean through the records. You know,
I don't have his records.
who would have his records?
Probably City Hall. And why would you want those? Are you going for a job or what is the deal?
Well, they're public records.
They're not public records.
No, it is. He's a police officer, so everything in their file is public record. Employment history, like any discipline, any awards, basically everything is public record.
This lady obviously has no idea what he's talking about. They've never had anybody come in and ask for public records before. It's a little tiny town. I think it's 1,500 or 1,700 people there or something like that. So yeah, she has no clue. But he's going to make sure he educates this stupid old witch.
Okay. And what's your name?
I can give you an email address.
No, I want a name.
Well, you don't have to give a name for
It's
public records.
record.
Right. No, I'm a private citizen.
Fine. I need a name.
So, but the public records laws, you can do it anonymously.
Since when?
So, are you familiar with the
Then
public?
go through public. No, I'm not. So go through public. Then go through the courthouse.
No, it's not. The courthouse doesn't handle public records for the police department. The police department does.
The police. You're gonna need to come and talk to somebody else, son. Because I don't know. I don't have that strategy on public records.
Right, but they're all. Has nobody ever come in here and requested public records before? Nobody. What?
No, not with me.
That's
I've
crazy.
been here almost 20 years.
I mean, I know it's a small department, but I request public records from agencies all the time. And
take pictures of people while you're doing it.
I document. I don't take pictures. It's video.
You're taking video.
I document. Yeah, right. Yeah, I document everything.
I just don't know that area of it. I know if somebody is like trying to do an employment or a background check, because I do background checks, but only for records on here, not a personal record on them for the police department. So if somebody like DCF does, I just did, like I said, I did all these records this morning for a specific address and person.
Mm-hmm.
But I only can do, I do that through the computer, which is generated by calls to the house.
This may be a small department, and she may be an elderly lady, but she got his numbers. She knows what he's doing. He's just acting the fool, and all tattooed up and intimidating, and holding his little camera phone up in front of her. So make sure she sees the phone, so she'll comment on it. Okay, yeah, he's way different than all the other auditors.
That's the kind of records I do.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
And but you would be the custodian of records for the police department here.
Not for
right?
that, not for their personal record, not their personnel records.
Okay. What about discipline and internal investigations, things like
That
that?
isn't something that I'm privy to.
That's something.
Never had an internal investigation with Mark.
No. Okay. Well, I was just using that as an example. If somebody were to request an internal investigation or maybe discipline, let's say for an example, I'm not saying he was, but just in general, an officer had been suspended or written up, and a member of the public came in and requested that document. That wouldn't be at City Hall, right? That would be here.
It goes in his personnel file, so I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I think if you're probably better off coming when my boss is here, when the chief is here, which will be Monday.
Okay.
And then he knows it all. I don't know it all. I don't pretend to know it all.
Okay. No, but nobody ever comes in here and requests public records?
Not public record, not what you're asking for, not on what people, a personnel file is not.
Right.
That type of thing. When they leave their personnel file, which I haven't even finished yet because he just left, his personnel files go to City Hall.
Okay.
His personal records.
So what is, I'm a journalist, and I'm doing, I'm looking into some things with the Land Police Department, is why, and he's a new hire there.
Right.
So I'm just trying to get some history on new hires there as well.
Well, in the beginning of the video, you said he had quite a history of stuff that you knew about and was going to make a video all about, but now you're at this little police department trying to find out stuff on him. I thought you already had everything. Thought you had a video ready to release about this tyrant. I don't know. Sounds like a little fishy to me.
Personnel file doesn't stay here. It all goes to City Hall.
Yeah. Once they're gone, it goes.
So once they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he still worked here, it would still be here?
It would be here.
It would be here. Okay. All right. But and just going back real quick, you understand that you can, and just respectfully, nobody has to give a name to receive public records. They can do it anonymously or...
It's something I didn't know, but...
Yeah,
I've never had anybody ask me for that, a personal record.
Yeah.
So if that was the case, then I probably would know.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know, then I would call my boss and say, what is the deal? How do I take care of this?
Right.
It's just like anything else. Somebody asks me something new. I've been here a long time, but I've
Yeah,
never had anybody request a personnel record.
Do you ever handle public records from citizens of any type of, like a citizen comes in and says, hey, I need to get whatever it might be?
I have not had anybody ask me that.
Really?
No.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's a small city, I know, but
It is.
but yeah,
Unfortunately.
I'm just surprised I'm the first. At least I'm the first at something.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the first, right? But
It
yeah.
may not be. I may not be involved in some of the stuff. I mean, I don't do it all. When somebody usually has something like that, they usually go to the chief.
They go to the chief. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and so just what it was. If a citizen did come in and there was a public record that you do have something, I don't even know, but if they came in and said, hey, I want to get this record on this, and it's something that you have access to or that you have access to, just so you know, you can look into it if you want. If any agency or government entity requires that they provide their name or any information to obtain that record, it's actually illegal to do that. Which is why I was surprised.
What I'll do is I'll have one of the officers who's really good at looking that stuff up.
Yeah.
And then what he'll do is he'll look it up and he'll print it out for me, because that's how I learn.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's, if whoever wants to look it up, just Florida records laws and the Sunshine Law.
He'll know.
That's one to pull
He'll know
up,
that.
Yeah, and that's good.
He's been an officer for a long, long time.
Yeah.
He's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can tell about this audit, that is a very nice lady. She's not giving him a hard time, anything like that. She's answering all his questions. I don't know why. He's trying not to be condescending, but he just can't help it. He's got to educate this lady. And I bet he goes on and on about how he did something great today, and he educated this lady. And the whole video is just stupid. It's just stupid and ridiculous. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what the drive to do these kind of videos is, really. I really don't.
Well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's a small town, I know, but I'm glad I was the first. Look at that. Can I put my name on the wall or something in here? The first to request a public record.
First somebody's asked me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of your hair. It was nice talking to you. Nice meeting you. I'll come back with my plaque for the wall somewhere. First to request public records.
I'll get you a plaque.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day. Thank you. Take care.
We are going to head over to City Hall now and see what happens there. Now, I think initially records manager Lynn and I maybe got off on the wrong foot. She seemed irritated by me initially, and at first I wasn't quite sure if she was just being nasty to me or she really didn't know. And as you saw, we learned she actually didn't know. Now, as a records manager for a public agency, should she know? I'll leave that up to you to discuss, but I feel like we did a service here.
Oh, you sure did. I'm sure I'm gonna find a way to use all this information in my daily life. Yeah, sure I will.
How the hell I'm the first one to go in there and request records, I have no idea. It is a tiny town, but damn. And hopefully after... Just look back over here.
I know where I'm
see
going.
a face in here.
I'm
so
looking
I'm gonna pop
for
in.
somebody that would maybe handle city records.
What are you looking for?
I was at the police department. I'm looking for an application from a former officer.
You'd have to put in a public records request for that. That's not something that we just have sitting around. They'd have to do a public records. Did you do that with them?
Right, no, that's what I'm trying to do.
You said you did it down at the PD though?
I went to the PD, to the records manager, and she said she doesn't handle records. That I would have to come here.
She does handle records for the PD.
Yeah, that's, we kind of had that discussion, but she insisted that.
Yeah, you really have to do an email though. We don't do it like an in-person records request because we don't have like a specific form. You could just email.
Right, yeah. I mean, I could
records.
just write it down or something. Who is the point of contact to get those records?
Our records request is our director of administration.
Okay.
So you just would email her and
Okay.
ask for what you're asking for.
And the that would be right. Yeah,
But again,
she was.
you have to put in the public records request.
Right, yeah,
because
that's-
She's got to do it formally, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it verbally or I can write it on
We
a
don't
piece
do
of
it
paper.
verbally here. We have to have put it in record. So I mean, again, it's a record.
Right, yeah, but I mean, by Florida records law, you can do it verbally, or you can call on the phone, or you can write it on a piece of paper.
But it's called a records request, so they have to have some type of record that you're requesting a record.
Right, I
You
had
don't
this.
do it verbally or over the phone.
I had this discussion at the PD too. It's a small city, so I'm not trying to be a jerk. I know it's a small city, but Florida records laws. I mean, you can. It would require.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we require it to be in email form. That's all.
But-
so you just email Roxanne.
But a city can't require that. Is what I'm saying. The records laws. If somebody were to come in, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm not trying to say that I want to do this verbally. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
If somebody were to come
I
in.
don't know the laws. I don't do that part.
Yeah,
It's not my job.
No, I know. That's why I'm not,
Email
and that's fine. I personally would rather do it that anyway. I was just saying I had a discussion like this similar to the police department. If somebody were to walk in and say, hey, I don't want to send an email and I don't want to fill out a form. I just want you to write down that I want this record. By law, the cities have to do that.
Law is how that would work.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know that part of it.
Right, yeah, I'm just letting you know. Where did I walk into? This is not records or anything here, right?
No, this is just the main office.
So going to a very small town where they have no idea what he's talking about or why he's acting the way he is, just to make a video, to try to make everybody look like tyrants and not cooperating with him. They're breaking the law. They're doing this. They're doing that. I'll give him credit. He's doing it in a nicer way than a lot of them do it. Like New York upstate audits. He's just a jackass when it comes to these things. But he's doing the same exact thing they're doing.
It's the city office. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. So that's one of the things I'm trying to find.
But it still has to be a record request. I don't know how, again, you're saying, I hear what you're saying, but they have to have some type of record that they're making, plus it has to be all redacted and stuff, and they don't have that type of stuff to redact stuff
Right.
for you to make a copy of.
Right, yeah, but I'm just saying,
So it would have to come back down here for us
Right.
to redact the information you're requesting
Like-
to make a copy of to give to you.
like initially when I went to the police department, I asked for it, and she said, well, what's your name? And I was like, well, I'll give you an email address. And she said, no, we need a name if you're getting a public record request.
Okay, I'm getting kind of tired of his voice and him telling everybody how smart he is. So that's the impression he's trying to give them, that he's a very smart guy and he knows everything about everything and they don't know anything about anything. That's the impression he's trying to give. So I'm going to skip ahead to the end, which is not very far away, but I'm just not going to put you through any more of this.
I'm sorry?
I'll give you a card.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want, you can email me.
I'll send you an email there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
All right.
And Jim. Okay.
Jim Gleason,
Yeah, I appreciate
yeah,
it.
okay.
I know it's a small city.
Yeah,
shake
no,
it.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so.
but we're public, so you're entitled,
Uh,
you have every legal right to, and you made a request, and we'll get it responded to.
Absolutely. That's
Okay?
it. Yeah, that's all I was
Okay.
just trying to figure that out.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. I'll send
Okay.
you an email.
Okay,
All right.
thank
Have a
you.
good day. Take care.
Get into the comments, let me know what you think. I do genuinely believe that we help bring some education to this city today. As for the public filming laws, I really am amazed that still we encounter people that aren't familiar with that.
Yeah, funny you'd bring that up because nobody ever said anything about it except the first lady that just made a comment that you were taking pictures while you were asking her stupid questions. But nobody gave you a hard time about filming, so I don't know why you got to bring that up. You know, you are the smartest guy in the room all the time. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, folks. I'm not going to play the rest of it. There's only another 5 minutes of him, you know, patting himself on the back for educating somebody. Yay. Nothing I'll ever use in my life, I'm sure. Anyway, you all have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.